That dream is green, and I don't mean material things. Freedom to the land, child, woman, and man. As we take up for what we stand, better days and better nights. As we stand and unite, we're one and the same. Why is it so hard not to point and to blame? Better sheet, get our houses in order and we'll see the peace. There are steps that we must take if we wanna see.
I see my people rising, no more stopping us. Couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us.
The sake of us, the sake of us.
I see my people rising, no more stopping us. Couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. No more feeling, telling, being beneath. What a beautiful moment, and a sight I can't wait to see. Even if I miss it, at least I was a part of the mission. Changing lives of men, women, and children. All glory goes to He that causes us all to be. Oh, and if they're thinking we can, we show them that just as long as we stand. A monument, we the people can't be broken as long as we stay focused. I see my people rising, no more stopping us. Couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. For the sake of us. I see my people rising, no more stopping us. Couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. I see my people rising, yeah.
Shalom, shalom lekulam. Shalom, shalom lekulam. Peace to everyone. Animi Pelel Shahakol Beseda Edkim Hayom. I pray all is well with you all today. I'm going to give a couple seconds, a couple minutes. Well, a couple minutes is a lot more than seconds, right? But a couple minutes to just get people to come in. And if not, it'll just be here for you all to see it later. All right. So it's been a discussion today, a much needed discussion. And I will repeat this as I'm speaking, because those that know me know that I press to be as balanced as I can. Humbly speaking, I really know the importance of being someone that is teaching, and the importance of being as balanced as you can possibly be. That's the goal. To be as balanced as you can possibly be. So what is the purpose of this live right now? This live, the title is Relationship Challenges in Our Communities. What seems to be the problem? Now that's a wide spectrum of possibilities of what the topic can be about. And of course, we have to tackle a lot of these things individually. But one of the greatest part, or the greatest thing that can be done to allow these challenges in our communities to digress or to improve is the very things that we're going to speak on now. All right. So this portion of the relationship challenges is dealing with man and woman. But before we do that, I want to bring to your remembrance Proverbs 11:1, and it says, "A false balance is an abomination to the Most High." A false balance is an abomination to the Most High. There is innocence within certain people, men and women alike. There is innocence. So the false balance is an abomination to the Most High, is not to those that are innocent. But a false balance is dealing with judgment, but it's also, you can apply it to the individual, their actions, their thought process. That plays a huge part. This won't be long, but we have 9 areas I'm going to cover with this topic: relationship challenges in our community. What seems to be the problem? Our community, before us coming into the what people call the way, right? Being B'nai Yisrael, before coming into this, if you weren't born in this, and even if you was born in this, it's a chance that you are what I'm going to be speaking of, or you were, right? People can grow. But a lot of us, whether we want to admit it or not, was or currently is, or is it are, is or are, operating in wickedness. Now stick with me. Stick with me. Operating in wickedness, unrighteousness, right? Some of us even evil. I speak on this very often. We were that before we came in. And when we came here on this path, we are, and we can be that as well. It can be due to ignorance. It can be due to influence. It can be due to just deciding to do so, right? So I wanted to make that clear. A lot of the things that we are experiencing now is what we experienced back then, is what we experienced as so-called Black people when we had identified ourselves as just that. It was that. We were wicked. We were unrighteous. We were evil, right? We were that. And a lot of us is that now due to one simple thing that can actually decrease it. It can decrease it. A lot of it is dealing with structure, accountability, structure, accountability. What's the word I'm trying to use right now? We're going to get into it really quickly, but hold on. But structure and accountability is the biggest thing that can stop most of the things that we are seeing. All right. So before I go into it, I want to bring something up, because I want you all to know that I've been speaking on this for a very long time. And those that have been following House of Balance Ministries or Beit Mazan Ministries, have seen us go around teaching over the years, is I'm really trying to push on our community accountability, structure, and things pertaining to relationships, blamelessness, all of these different things. This stuff has been pushed around, but the problem is most of us do not want to go this route. And when things happen, that's when we call out, right? Understand what I'm saying? This does not take away from the evil. This does not take away from the wickedness. This does not take away from any of these things that's happening. It's there and it needs to be addressed. All right. Let me pull something up really quickly. All right. So I put a book out called Life Lessons Before Life Happens. Many people think that this book is dealing with just children. It's from the ages of 13 and up, but it's all the way to the age of my age right now, the current age of 41, and those that may be 50. If you are moving individually, right? If you are moving in your mind autonomously, it's nobody that can govern you righteously. This book belongs to you as well. There's 49 topics that we have all went through, and most of us are still going through. It addresses some things pertaining to men dealing with women and women dealing with men. Things that can help you to not go through the very things that many of us went through before coming into this walk. Like a lot of our family and associates that we know that are so-called Black is actually still going through it right now. And again, when you come into this walk, you're bringing a residue over here. We're having the love and the excitement of being who we are, but we still don't grasp the culture. We don't understand it. So it's causing most of us to fail. Remember, the first thing I said is a false balance is an abomination. So that is dealing with judging matters properly. That's dealing with governing matters properly. But we can put that with individuality as well, as far as how we operate, how we view the scriptures, how we view our walk, how we deal with people. That can apply to that too. But the weights and balances is dealing with judging, right? But we're going to get into it. So this is what this book is about. And this book is already done and released. I'm not trying to promote, but I'm trying to show something that what has happened today, it was needed. What was posted today was needed. All right? It was needed. So it's nothing negative to be said about what was brought out. I have nothing negative to say. I agree with the basis of this is some wickedness that's happening within our communities, whether so-called Black community, Christianity, right? The people that do relationships there who call themselves Christians, and those of us on our path now. If you are moving alone, if we're moving along, we're part of the problem. Listen closely. I'm going to try to be done as quick as possible because we have to make a run. But I have to bring out these 9 points I'm about to show you. If we are moving alone, we are part of the problem. And the things that's continuing to happen to people is going to continue to happen to people, whatever type of relationship you're in. It doesn't matter what side of the coin you fall on. It's going to happen, and it has happened, and it continues to happen. So we're going to address why it's happening in 1 second, but I wanted to bring this out right here. What's up, cuz? Please pay attention to this as well. And I pray that I know things is going to be going well for you. You're in my prayer. But we need to address this. I don't want to be speaking to people, and then when they're done listening, they just go about their life, which I know that's going to happen, but I hope it provokes thought and change to some of you. Some of you may not even know what this topic is about, especially if you're not in my community. But you actually do know what this topic is about because most of you and us have went through it, bouncing around from woman to woman to woman to woman, or women bouncing around to men to men to men to men. Why are we doing that? And then now what we're doing is when it happens after our decisions that we made a decision. Yes, it falls on a man to be a leader, but a lot of men aren't leaders. That's one. But it also happens to go on the woman as well. This doesn't take away from the wickedness that happens to them, but there's wickedness and unrighteousness happening on both parties. And I got to explain that before y'all jump away and leave. Again, I support what has been said today, but it's a deeper root that needs to be addressed, that I'm going to address. All right. And it may be addressed, but I'm going to address it now. Okay. So Life Lessons Before Life Happens, the book I released, literally pours out stuff for women to make sure that they are not being manipulated and all of these other things. There's a few different things in there. Okay. Now I'm about to write another book on it now. The next one that I want to bring out and show. Okay. This one is not released yet. This is called The Way of a Righteous Community and Rules for what? Protection. This book was supposed to be done this year, but I ended up writing 3 other books. This one's coming out next year. Why am I writing this? The Way of a Righteous Community and the Rules for Protection. Why is this being put in? Who are we talking about protecting? Who am I speaking of about protecting? Let's press this button. Protecting our women, elders, fatherless, right? Some of the men might be like, well, why you ain't say the men? I want to protect the men too. But one of the best ways to protect the men is to get the women in a certain mind state to way now the men that aren't moving in the right way is going to have to go out after elders and those teachers that's going to teach them the proper way to move. So us men, we have to protect our women and our elders and our fatherless, but don't think I'm letting anyone clear. I'm just showing you something really quickly. We're about to get into those 9 points, and it's going to address the very thing that some of the righteous men may be thinking, like, why aren't you saying this? So let's get into it. I wanted to make that clear. So those that may not know me, know what our ministry is about, understands that the very thing that those men that are righteous that are speaking on these matters or are trying to bring things out to help the communities, that you understand, if you hear me putting this post out here, this video out here, that I've been doing this, we have been doing this for years. Okay, let's get into it. So let's get into it, you all. A false balance is an abomination to the Most High. We have to understand this. We always talking about in the scripture about telling the truth, right? A lot of times truth is left out, and sometimes questions are not asked. This isn't, again, this is a sidebar. This is a general statement about what I've seen over the past 14 years and what I've seen before even coming into this walk, what I'm seeing with my people, associates and friends and families, and myself included. Before I came in it, I will be considered unrighteous and wicked. Yes. And I don't even think I was that bad. But anything that's going against how the structure was implemented and placed by the Most High is deemed as that. We're not used to that. I'm not going to harp on that. I got to get to the points really quickly. But anything that is outside what is given can be deemed as wicked, unrighteous, or evil. Anything. So before the truth, I was that, right? A lot of us was that. A lot of us is that and can't fathom what I'm saying right now. And then those of us that are in it, especially in the beginning stages, some of us was that, still trying to find out and figure out how to move. But we should have had leaders in place that understood the very things, and not saying they're not out there, because they are, but there's very few. And that's the problem too that we're facing as men and women coming into this understanding, because again, a lot of people in Christianity, due to what's been taught by the church fathers that gave them the blueprint of what's the ideology and theology to talk about, is not bringing out some of these things. But let's get into it. All right. So relationship challenges in our community, what seems to be the problem? Let's go. So wicked before coming into is most of us. Let's go to 9 points of discussion. Number one. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Number one, absence of communal accountability. Absence of communal accountability. Let me take this down really quickly. Right? What seems to be the problem? Number one is absence of communal accountability. The community, what's the purpose of the community? It serves as the safeguard for righteousness. That term is thrown around a lot. I'm not speaking of that term like this. I might have to do a part 2 and come back and finish this later at 9, but I'm going to try to go to about 6:30. The community serves as the safeguard for righteousness. Without accountability, individuals fall into patterns of sin and relational failures. When I say sin, I'm not saying it how Christianity teaches sin. I'm talking about actual rules on how to operate, actual cultural ways of operating. Most of us come into this walk, we have family in it with us, or we may not have family in it with us, right? So now we have nobody. We're in this walk. We're joining Knesset, right, in the congregations and things of that nature, and we're building with each other. We're having fun and things like that. But there's no structure to make sure when a person comes in, who's covering you? Is your father here? Your brother here? Cousin here? Who are you by yourself? Okay, cool. Now we have to look after you. Here's the thing. Are you going to come in here and allow us to look after you, to protect you? Protect us? What does that mean? I'm used to moving on my own. Guess what? Most of us in this path right now is used to moving on our own. We're making decisions on our own. We're going to men on our own. We're going to women on our own. So without absence of communal accountability, the community serves as a safeguard. That's what it's supposed to be for righteousness. If it's a righteous community, by the way, I got to say that. Without accountability, individuals fall into patterns of sin and relational failures. And we're about to get down to some more things that's going to go right into that, because just because you have a community and you have a thing that's so-called a set way of accountability, it does not help when you leave each other. How often are you dealing and talking with each other? Are you around each other often? Because when people are alone, that's when they tend to do things. And then men and women alike, what happens is when something happens, now is I need help. When all in all, a person like me and my Isha and other people that I know is teaching every week, 2 or 3 times a week, posting, putting books out there, talking to people in front of them, bringing it to their attention, trying to provoke thought, all of that. And guess what happens? The same thing that's going to happen with those that watch this video, which has been a Israel. We've been that. It only been a remnant within a remnant. And it's the reason why the Torah, the Torah, the instructions was written. But I know we have to be compassionate. But compassion without structure it doesn't do anything. It continues a pattern of not owning accountability to oneself. It's okay for us to be hurt. What's going on with our people, I agree with it. But we have to find a way to put them in place to make better decisions too, men and women alike. But let's keep going. I know I'm going to lose some people. But if you stay to the end, you'll see where I'm going with it. I'm not taking away from the wickedness. I'm not taking away from that. But if this is not said, both sides is not said, not saying it's not, because it very well can be. But I know I've been in this 14 years. I've heard people teach. I've been around them in person. I've seen how they move with themselves, their family, their congregations. And a lot of times you don't hear the other side. All right. Again, this has nothing to do with the person that wrote the post, because I believe he's doing this thing. That's my opinion. I believe that. But I wanted to take the opportunity to speak on this matter alongside, because this is destroying us. But let's keep going. Here we go. I'm taking a lot of time. Resistance to receiving accountability. That's number 2. There we go. Resistance to receiving accountability. Even when guidance is offered, many resist correction from elders, family, or righteous peers, undermining their own growth and protection. So this is why I talk about covenant a lot. This is why I talk about really bringing in individuals who truly want to grow, truly want better of their lifestyle, truly want to grow and accomplish better things when it comes to relationship. When it's something a person really wants, sometimes they're not even going to listen. They're not going to listen. They could have been told not to do something, and then they won't, and they won't listen. And then someone that has a great heart, we feel for people on things, but I have to ask those certain questions and then tell you why this is the case. And then also let you know that you had a part played on this. You have to know that. See, if certain cultural things was taught when you first came in and you had the right teachers that taught it how to move, 9 times out of 10, you may have still resisted it, by the way. But some people may have took it in and went about it the right way because they understood. So resistance to receiving accountability. Again, even when guidance is offered, many resist correction from elders, family, or righteous peers, undermining their own growth and protection. I'm saying this and reading it for those of you to ponder on, is this you? Have you heard teachers or leaders, ones who you deemed that was righteous, who was giving you good information, have you heard them tell you something and you knew you should listen? You knew you should apply this to your life. You should not be talking to this man. You don't even know who this man is. You should not be talking to this woman. You don't even know who this woman is. Who do they hang around? Who's their teacher? Who's their elders? How does their teacher and elders move? All this plays a part. It's still a chance it could fail, by the way. I've seen courtships and they did everything right before in this walk and after and during this walk. I'm thinking of two specifically in my mind right now, did everything right and it still didn't work. But it could have been who they chose too. But let's keep going. I'm going down the line. I may come back on later or maybe another day and really dig on this some more. I just wanted to get it out the way, bring out some things. Hopefully it'll touch those of you that's listening. Lack of structure and spiritual guidance. Without defined processes, right? It has to be defined. You come together and, hey, I really like you. Oh, do you keep the commandments? Do you keep the statutes? Do you keep the ordinances? Oh, what do you believe in? We believe the same thing. Oh, okay. That's like the bare minimum. That's not the thing that really builds a relationship. That's not. How is your response when it's dealing with conflict resolution? Are you someone that's just going to quit? Are you someone that's just going to throw me away? Of course, they could say yes or no to that, and you won't know. But the best way you could know is studying who that person, man or woman, was or is, and how they move before you, during you, and the things that's around him or her. How are they moving consistently? Right? But what's your response with conflict resolution? So without defined processes, teaching, or leadership, people wander aimlessly. Most of the people that's going through what they have went through, and I'm not demonizing or diminishing what's happening, but this is a truth. This is a truth. And those of you that's watching this, if you are moving on your own and you may have been through something, you can admit that this is true. Most of us that's moving on our own, we don't have anyone to, we're not taking the accountability that was given or that we see, because we want to really still be autonomous. We want to be able to move the way we want to move. We're no different than those of Bnei Israel, the children of Israel, even when Moshe was there. They wanted to keep doing and whatever they wanted to do, even when things was put in place. But see, the Most High and the righteous men and women that was sent by the Most High, they gave a couple tries, right? They gave a couple of, okay, you know what? Look, this is what you have to do. Don't do it no more. Okay, this is what's going to happen if you do it. If you do it, I should say, not do it. If you do it, this is what's going to happen. This what may happen to you. And now it's up to that person to take heed to what's being suggested or whatever, or being instructed. But the issue is most of us won't do it. A lot of the failures, a lot of the hurt is due to us. I have, over the past years that I've been around, me and my Ishai, as we've been together as well, we have suggested and brought things to people, and they'll still do whatever they want to do. Some of them failed with it because people want to do what they're going to do. But the biggest thing I believe that can help this is when we're bringing people in, we start off with a precedence, right? Like, this is how it has to be. If you're not going to abide by this, because our job is to protect those that come in, our job is to protect it. Some may think that's a code or something. I don't get it, because when you go to your job have rules and statutes and stuff that's going to be protecting you as the employee and their business. So when someone comes in, shalom to those of you that's coming in right now. If you missed the first half, please start over when you get a chance. We're on number 4 right now. But these things are in place. The problem is we're not doing that. Who is really around the congregants? Those that are a part of our organizations. Who are you around them? If you're not around them, it's a chance that they doing something behind your back and what I mean by that is you're supposed to be looking over them, protecting them, righteously covering them, and they're not even telling you the things that they're doing. And this goes for someone that's a part of a congregation. Most things that happen to a lot of us is because we weren't a part of a righteous one. We didn't have someone in place that can hold us accountable. Let's keep going. So without defined number 4, lack of structure and spiritual guidance. Without defined processes, teaching, or leadership, people wander aimlessly, vulnerable to mistakes in relationships and covenantal obligations. Lack of structure and spiritual guidance. So if you got lack of structure and spiritual guidance, you're not going to have any covenantal obligations because you don't understand what covenantal obligations is. Most of us that's on this path, you all, guess what? We don't even know what a real covenant is. We say it, but we don't know what it really is. Because covenants, it involves you being a certain way, you abiding by everything you agreed on. And most of us do not abide by everything we agreed on. Because you know what we say? No one's perfect. We make a lot of excuses. Again, this is a sidebar that I'm saying, but it still can apply with this matter. We have to make sure, remember, a false balance is an abomination to the Most High, so I have to bring both sides. If you missed the first part of what I said, I already addressed that. Guess what? Most of us are wicked, unrighteous, and evil. That's outside of this path, and that's inside of this path. And a lot of times you definitely can be that, and this is going to rub somebody the wrong way, if you're moving alone. You're borderline going to be that in some capacity, in some fashion. I said unrighteous, wicked, or evil. You choose which one. Unrighteous, well, I'm not going to go into it. Let's keep moving. I only got about 10 more minutes. If I don't finish it, I will have a part 2 to this. Okay? I will have a part 2 to this. All right. Hold on one second, you all. Don't leave yet. We're going to get through it. Oh, shoot. We're going to get through it. Don't leave yet. Hold on. Just want to. All right. So we're on number 5 right now. Number 5 is deficiency in leadership presence. I kind of touched on this already. Deficiency in leadership presence. Now, if you're a large congregation, it's kind of hard for you to be there. But I believe as a community, how we actually moved back then, we always had leadership around our women, elders, fatherless, things like that. We don't have that today. Even moving this subject to the side. How many of us, all our women, I was having this conversation the other day with my Shah. I really believe that our refuge, in our mind, we believe our refuge is the Most High. But I also believe, I want to say no, but I also believe that our refuge is the government. Why am I saying that? Because it's a foot in, but we let our women go wherever they want to go. And what I mean by that's not about control. We are getting women getting snatched today, right now, getting snatched, getting lost. Things are happening to our people because we don't have true protection. So when things are happening now, it's so many different areas and subjects of a protection that we're lacking in. And it all starts from what we're speaking on right now. But deficiency in leadership presence. Elders, mentors, and spiritual leaders are essential for modeling righteousness, enforcing boundaries, and nurturing moral responsibility. This is not being talked about often in a lot of congregations that I have seen in my whole time being here in 14 years and before this when I was in Christianity. It is not boundaries, enforcing boundaries to protect our women, to protect our children, our elders, not boundaries. Why? Because we think that we are autonomous, and we are in a sense. We don't want that. We don't really want you to tell us what to do. So when that's not in place, things will happen. There are wicked, unrighteous, and evil people out here. This goes for monogamous, which is most people, and polygynous. This goes with both. We have to be balanced. A false balance is an abomination. The core is the structure, you all. The core is the lacking of the wanting to even take what's being said. The core is not being in a real community, but we coming around on Shabbat. We coming around on Moedim. We coming around on YouTube. We're not holding ourselves accountable. We're not accepting accountability. We are resistant to receiving accountability. And people are not going to like me saying these things, but this is true. So elders, mentors, and spiritual leaders are essential for modeling righteousness, enforcing boundaries, and nurturing moral responsibility. Moral responsibility. Moral responsibility. Number 8 or 7. I don't even know what number I'm on. Yeah, I think it's 7. Neglect of relationship education. Conferences, seminars, and teachings that strengthen covenantal understanding and relational skills are rare today, leaving individuals unprepared for healthy monogamous or polygynous relationships. Because guess what? It's going to be both. And I'm not going to get into doctrine right now because that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of it is to figure out what's the core. Why are people failing? Because it's failing on both ends. And the majority of everybody in the so-called truth, and definitely so-called black people, are monogamous. What's the core then? What is the core? Let's attack the core. I just recently started saying publicize. I'm going to a men conference with 7 Day Harvest. Me and my Isha, I'll be joining them this weekend. They got a men conference. I don't know the title by heart, but it's what it requires to be a man, something like that. We need more things like that. I know they're out there. It ain't always being shown, but I haven't seen it often, and I've been around for a while. Right? So conferences, seminars, and teachings that strengthen covenantal understanding. This should be the very first thing that's taught when somebody comes into our congregation. Well, I already know it. This is just what's set in stone. When you come in, you have to go through this. So we can make sure your protection, your spirit, your mental, your physical, all this stuff is protected. This should be the standard. Not just commandments, statutes, and all. That's fine. We're supposed to do that. But what about the reality for most people? And the reality is most people aren't being culturally active in this path. Because if we were, we wouldn't go through most of the stuff that the topic of today is about if we were culturally sound. So since most of us are not culturally sound righteously, then we should put stuff in place like this. Number 8, neglect of relationship education, conferences, seminars, and teachings that strengthen covenantal understanding and relational skills are rare, leaving individuals unprepared for healthy monogamous or polygynous relationships. Let's go. I got a few more minutes, then I'm going to head out. If I don't finish it, I will do a part 2. Overemphasis on personal autonomy. While adult responsibility is important, unchecked independence can reject communal wisdom. You need more people. You might be wise. You might be intelligent. You may be smart. You may have a lot of knowledge, but you need more people that can make sure they can challenge what you're bringing out, whether it's positive or negative, and can make sure you're more balanced in your approach of certain things. Look, sidebar. I do the Hebrew. I teach the Hebrew and everything. But do you know what I'm working on right now? Well, a lot of you don't know. I'm sending it to other teachers that don't even speak how I speak. Like, we got different dialects. Some of them have the same dialects. I go to other people. Why? You need a community on these subject matters. So while responsibility is important, unchecked independence can reject communal wisdom, divine instruction, and accountability. Okay? And this may be the last one. No, I got a couple more. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a part 2. It may be later tonight. I have to make a run. I really hope that this first part was good. I haven't saw any comments. I see a couple likes. And it's really not about that, but I do want to know what's your thoughts on what's been said thus far. What I may do when I come back with the part 2, I will skim through all of them really quick. I won't comment on it. I'll just read it through. And then we will continue with number 10. Right now we're on 11, I believe. 11, 12, 13. I have 13 more. 11, 12, 13. 3 more to speak on. But I have to make a run. All right. Appreciate you all for tuning in. I will come back on with the last 3. I will briefly go over the first, however many it was, and just go right into the last 3. All right. Please share this so far, and I hope it's something so far, because we're going to get to the meat and close it out correctly. I hope it was something that was said that will provoke your thought and change how we're thinking. It's another side to it. We're failing, we're hurting people, or we're getting hurt because of certain things. The men, as is the topic of discussion, and I understand it because we're supposed to be the head, the leaders. We're supposed to have all these different things, and that's the truth, without a doubt. So the men are hurting because other people aren't protecting them either. So the men are hurting, which is, you got to think, okay, is someone protecting these women, or are they ignoring what's being said to them? Right? Or do they not have someone there? So to the men out there that's listening, a lot of us are wicked, unrighteous, and evil. We have to understand that, and we have to accept that. Especially if you read the scriptures, you know that that's the case. There is only a remnant within a remnant of, to me, from what I can read, righteous men and women. Which one are you going to be? So take the things that I've said. If you have no one that's going to be able to hold you accountable, find someone only when you're ready for that. Because don't get a leader or a teacher that you just want to say, well, I have an elder, but you're not listening to that elder. This goes for both the men and the women. Do not put yourself under a teacher or under a leader or under an organization, but that person cannot righteously, in a balanced way, give you suggestions and also just hey, you shouldn't do this, don't do this. And you listen to them. But if you're not going to listen to them, you're the one, you're the cause. Men and women. I'll be back. We got to finish this. It will be a part 2. Shalom, shalom.
I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Yeah. see a dream, that dream is green. And I don't mean material things. Freedom to the land, child, woman, and man. As we take up for what we stand. Better days and better nights. As we stand and unite. We're one and the same. Why is it so hard not to point and to blame? Better sheet, get our houses in order and we'll see the peace. There are steps that we must take if we wanna see.
I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us.
The sake of us, the sake of us.
I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. No more feeling, telling, being beneath. What a beautiful moment, and a sight I can't wait to see. Even if I miss it, at least I wasn't part of the mission. Changing lives of men, women, and children. Our glory goes to He that causes us all to be. Oh, and if they're thinking we can, we show them that just as long as we stand, a monument. We the people can't be broken as long as we stay focused. I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. For the sake I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. I see my